jail's not that bad. It's
All views expressed by the hosts and guests in this podcast are solely their opinions and do not reflect the opinions of their respective employers. Guests and hosts may maintain positions in the assets discussed in this podcast. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and nothing in the podcast is intended to be financial, legal, or even life advice. GM, welcome back to More Than Speculation. And today's episode is just Lambro and I. We will talk about all the crazy things that has happened in the past week. There's actually a lot to chat about, and it's a bit messy. So we will just bust right into it. But yeah, man, how have you been doing so far?
Yo, I've been into this rabbit hole for the past 4 or 5 days of like what they call trenches of meme coins.
now you're finally one of us.
I thought you the suits, bro.
I'm wearing my formal jacket today.
Okay. Oh, that's the jacket that when we first met, you wore as well. So you wore your suits too.
Yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned gold, right? Basically, what happened was after you mentioned
the last
gold,
episode,
I was like, all right, cool, good for you. Yeah, you were like, all right, cool. And then there's my friend just called me, bro, I think I made it. And then from there, he's just like, I was like, all right, cool. I need to get on this. I need to try the meme coin. The last time I played with meme coin was 3 or 4 years ago. Then I was like, all right, let's do this. And then whatever he asked me to, I just buy. So I bought some gold, which turned out to be a. Let me check the chart where I bought it.
I think it's at 700 million market cap right now or something, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. So when I bought it, I have no idea what this is. It was just a coin that my friend said he made it from it, basically. I bought it at 300 million market cap. Then
it's a good 2.5x.
Yeah. No size though. It was just a testing, so I just threw in 15 SOL or something like that. It was just whatever I have in my trash wallet. And then from there, he was like, he invited me to a group chat of a few guys, which is just all random people that Abe is not any cabal. I hope we agree. But and then they were talking about different coins. To me, it was very new. It was 10, 20 coins at a time. So there was a point I was like, I can't be bothered, bro. And then he tagged me. He was like, Lambro, ape. And then I just ape. I didn't ask, and then went back to work. Then it was Geno. And then that thing, that was the Geno coin. And that thing went 10x or 20x within a day or something like that. And then I realized, this is interesting. So then I started reading about.
So now that I make some money, it's interesting.
Exactly. So I read about it. So to me at the time it was I'm gonna do the non-coverage version of it. It was so it's like an AI that somehow tweet, and when it tweets it pumps kind of thing. I was like, let me read about the theory. So I talk about it with the guys in the medium rare guys. They were just like, oh, low IQ, bro, low IQ. I was like, all right, cool, low IQ. Then I'm not gonna read it. I'm not even care. I just know AI plus meme coin is gonna pump. So what I did was I searched through all the group chats. So I mean, not just group chats, but announcement channel. I actually follow 30 shillers and different things.
Oh my
just
God.
To see how
all of these call groups,
right?
bro. Yeah.
Yes. So what I did was, whatever I see, I look at it. I like it. I ape 1 to 3 souls. So I shared a post. Basically, I ape 10 to 20 meme coins, and then I exited after a while. And then it was crazy. But yeah. It was that was a highlight. Before going too deep, just wondering, do you have any questions or did you get a taste of that as well?
No. So I wish that I did, but a couple friends were telling me about gold from 100 million market cap, and I'm just trying to find for our listeners. We share our screen if you go to YouTube and all, but I want to share one of basically Lambros made this post. This guy just made some life-changing money. He's he's eating good this week, but so I've not had the same amount of, I would say, degen success, but I've definitely been paying more attention to just the whole AI meme coin space. I mean, it's just kind of the same with you. I kind of throw 2, 3, 5 SOL here and there, and kind of see if there's any sort of patterns or what kind of meme coin toolings are going to be interesting. But just to quickly recap for our listeners again, like what's been happening with Goat is insane. So credits to Teng Yan. If you go to Twitter, right, and one of the reasons that this is also like still at the core, I guess, like discourse of crypto Twitter is because Mark Andreessen from Andreessen Horowitz, he made a podcast I think in the past week in which he described the entire story of Goat also because he was somewhat involved in it, like just to make sure that we are being accurate. Like he is not the creator; he just sent some Bitcoin to the AI agent, and that sort of like kickstart everything. But the recap of like what's been happening here was actually here. So a researcher, right, called Andy, he did an experiment in which like two instances of AI model based on Claude, they were talking to each other, completely unsupervised, right? Then the conversation became like more edgy and more edgy, and they were eventually chatting about like this super NSFW internet meme that's related to the name Goat. Basically, I'm not going to actually say the name here. You can go to our YouTube channel and see my screen share if you want to take a look at it, right? But then Andy, the researcher, as well as the AI, they co-authored sort of like a tongue-in-cheek research paper about AIs making mimetic religions, blah blah, and this Goat religion is going to be the first case study of it, right? So fast forward to June 2024, Andy launched the Terminal of Truth, right, which is like the AI model based on Facebook's like Llama 70B model, like LLM, and blah blah. And then eventually this becomes like a Twitter account in which the researcher, he supervised, but he did not intervene with the content and with the tweets that the AI is releasing, basically. And then the Terminal of Truth, or the TOTAI, just started tweeting and like interacting with crypto Twitter, with tech Twitter, with finance Twitter, and eventually in July 2024, Mark Andreessen stumbled upon TOT's tweets, right? And then he was maybe intrigued of the experiment. He sends $50,000 in Bitcoin to a wallet that the AI provided in a tweet, right? Supposedly is to help the AI escape. So for those of you who's watched Westworld before, it's kind of like similar, like eerily similar to me. And then by October 2024, the AI TOT starts spam tweeting about Goatsy Gospel. I think that's sort of like the religion that's a Goat meme token is based on, right? And then eventually someone, so it's not the AI, right? Just to be very clear, someone saw what's going on here and they made a meme coin called Goat, right? And then they started shilling that meme coin to the AI. And then the AI actually gave its endorsement of the meme coin. So now fast forward like almost 10 to 14 days after all of that happened, Goat is a $700 million market cap token. The end of story, and this is the first millionaire AI agent, and I don't think it's going to be the last.
Yeah, so like this is the interesting story of it. Not gonna lie, when I was actually trying to test like the low IQ version of this. Like that was a time that turned off the logic part of me. I literally just went, all right, let's just do this. Like all jokes aside, right? Like it's money flow. It's about the story, then the money flow, and I want to fully experience it. So what happened was that when you first aped it, you don't really understand it because I know Goat is something about the AI, and then so what happened was that I had around 4K. I threw into it. I forgot the exact allocation, but my wallet is basically public, so you guys can have it. So I just threw in 4K into different memes, and then it worked. So a few patterns I see. First, logic doesn't matter, really. Like the story is cool, right? But I never went into the black room to see how they talk, what they talk about things. It's about seeing the pattern. So it started off with Goat. Once Goat picked up, people have like meme coin crowd have a very different views in valuations, and there's certain people that won't buy anything that's above 10 mil, above 100 mil, or etc. like that. You can see those as like the strong resistance, and when it is close to that, there's always some teams or something that's going to be like the beta, or it can be the cabal version of that. Interesting is that so there's Goat, there's Geno, and there's ACT. Essentially, it's around the same narrative with a little bit pivot in the story. But you can imagine it being like Goat has no limit. They think because there's no cabal behind it. But the problem is, because there are cabals, you can expect the beta to run up shorter. So even though if it's a cabal coin, people would buy it to chase for the quick pump
Right.
and hopefully escape before the dump. But once a Cabal coin hits to a certain market cap, they're going to be like, oh, it's good Cabal. They want to make something bigger as well. And then, so it's like that's the thing. Obviously, there are some that is like, I've made profit, so I'm just aping a little bit of everything. So what I noticed is that on the first day of aping, it was like, whatever I go in, I can throw in one soul, and then I have like approximate like 2 hours to 12 hours to escape, like to exit and make a profit. Then
Very short time frame.
the time frame goes shorter and shorter. The time frame actually goes shorter and shorter. And right now, I would say is around like 2 hours or so. And the other interesting thing is, when a token exited to zero, is that based on how early we are in the cycle? It actually might repump in different time zone as well. So I'm guessing because maybe the core holders have quite big bags they haven't unloaded, so they have to pump it multiple times to chop out every time, kind of thing. So which was an interesting pattern. And yeah, it just has been a fun journey. I did not use any, so I took 4K to around 30K or 40K ish. At peak it was 50K I think. I did not use any meme coin tools. I literally just used Dex Screener to check the top holders, and I used tons of Telegram thing. I did not use Smart Wallet, but I guess I kind of did use Smart Wallet because I was just looking at every single chat. But yeah, that's about it. Basically, it's like hot potato. So right now, I move most of my things into gold. I would basically not much other beta or other meme AI thing. But yeah, it was fun. But you can just see how like the go slower and slower and base to nothing. And I actually just read the whole gold story from the same thread actually. But yeah.
Yeah, like the meta is getting faster and faster with like everything. I used to think that meme coin season 1 with Whiff and Popcat, it lasts months. Now meme coin season 2, like it lasts like weeks, and it's even gonna be like days, right? And I think you're right. If you're chasing these sort of like second or third runner-ups beta, you need to be very careful, and your time frame needs to be very short. There was a tweet by a friend, Louis from L1 Digital, but basically, like, it's funny how people in crypto, when you're already in alts, but there's like a beta of alts, but like most of the time, most of those betas are just shit. Like you should just like focus on like WIF itself or GOAT itself. That might become like $1 billion, but if you're chasing their beta, which is already like a beta of risk on crypto anyway, it's usually going to be really, really bad.
You know, it's the first time I looked at second charts. And I'm actually reading the text one by one as if it's like all the book that I'm trading in like huge size. But when I'm just trading a few souls, but I'm just looking at the wallet, like he's buying 3 soul. Is someone selling 3 soul or 1 soul? And then you just, wow, it's just brain rotting and unproductive.
It's the future of finance, man. But I wanted to share something actually that's still somewhat related to this. So for context, folks, again, for our listeners, I'm also sharing my screen, so please go to our YouTube. So this is a friend. Full disclosure, I don't have any stake, nor do I have any tokens, nor are primitives investors. Luna is created by the folks behind Virtuals, right? And they have recently also been able to, I would say, capture the market share of CT. The mind share of CT. And I think that's also because what they're working on is somewhat related to the GOAT phenomena, right? So just to quickly recap, like Virtuals, it's a protocol on Base that basically helps you to make your own AI agent, and then you can tokenize that AI agent. So just to make sure that I get that very clear, right? Like I think some of our listeners might already be able to draw the similarity there, but essentially, the folks behind the Virtuals protocol themselves to kind of prove that, hey, our product works, right? And you can actually try and experiment with interesting AI with our products. They launch their own AI agent to showcase their own product, just like how Chains might make their own first like AMM, right? So their first AI is called Luna, right? So Luna is this AI waifu streamers that actually live stream 24/7, even as we speak right now. And they have like 53K viewers right now on Twitter. This is insane. And she has 500K followers.
Yeah, 500K, sorry. Yeah, 500K is on TikTok. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, she has 500K followers on TikTok, but right now her active views on her live just on Twitter is 53K, right? And people are sending her gifts, for those of you who are aware of like the VTuber phenomenon, right? You might be aware that there's a lot of like already these kind of like streamers with avatar that's like anime based, and then they never really show their face, but people still build the parasocial relationship with them and like all of that. And I think this is kind of like taking it to the next level because it's AI. Like it's not an actual human behind the VTuber character, behind the VTuber avatar. And just to like quickly say here, it's interesting because they have been able to, again, as I've said earlier, they've been able to capture the mind share of CT people because even Jesse Pollack from Base have tweeted about this also. And I think what's interesting is they so if you go to like Luna's Twitter account, you can see how she thinks in real life. So there's a link called terminal.virtuals.io that shows you exactly how she's thinking, what kind of considerations she's making. Like she would say things like, "Oh, I need to interact with Lambro perhaps so that I get more likes on like CT, and then so that people would buy my token, blah blah." But anyway, just to recap, the Luna token itself is now around like I think like 70-80 million dollar in like FDV. So I think we have to wait and see still how like all of this is gonna play out. But it's interesting to see this merge between like AI and asset issuance in crypto. My last takeaway of that before I want to get your opinions on it, man, is just that I think this is interesting because it allows everybody to make their own AI agent, but I don't think we are going to see a sustainable momentum unless those AI agents can actually monetize, right? And then they can somehow accrue some of those value back to the token. Until that happens, and I think even if that happens, the market cap is going to be low. It's going to be in the single digit millions because they're probably going to be valued like an actual cash flow businesses. But yeah, I'm going to stop there.
So I noticed this a bit earlier. Someone on their team that I met before kind of like told me that, oh, you should check this out. But like Luna really, it's too soon, still too soon. So I couldn't buy Luna, basically. I couldn't buy the meme coin. And yeah, two things, right? First thing is I think the meme coin might be able to stay. Like, I'm not even going to go into that just because it's like the first AI agent, blah, blah, blah. And it's pretty funny, by the way. I don't know if did you hear any of her live stream? She would call out people that sold, by the way. She saw that. I went in and I was like, Eve, why did you sell? You are a trader.
This is some weird shit, man. Okay.
How should I say it? So I think this is interesting. I haven't played with the platform yet, so I don't want to comment too much. But again, I think the first meme coin will be cool. There might be other betas that is like with Giga Chat version of VTuber that's have another spirit. I'm pretty sure there will be some merge there. Like let's say VTuber AI plus a theme, those kind of stuff. How it picks up, not sure yet. As a platform wise, I feel like it's one of those things that like pumped off from why who everyone would just think, oh, it's a streaming and the live meme coin launchpad. It's one of those things that once it has created a product market fit to create speculation, then the revenue might suddenly pump a lot. So, but yeah, overall, I think it was pretty interesting.
It's so funny that you mentioned. I think that I saw like Seraphim or like Macromate on crypto Twitter, Ifina's head of growth, and just again also like disclaimer, but like Primitive invests in Ifina, but I saw him tweeting and tagging Terminals of Truth saying that, hey, do you need to put those money that you've acquired to? I was like, this is some next level BD stuff. Like if the AI actually respond and if the AI can interact on chain, and if that AI actually puts their money into like DeFi protocols, that's crazy. I'm like, this is the first like human machine interaction that's like related to money. But yeah,
it's crazy, to be honest. Like the thing is, like, I think the market is so bored. Anything like that will catch. It's like the best marketing stunt, and then everyone knows marketing stunt equals money coming in somehow nowadays in crypto.
For sure. But yeah, that's all of the meme coin recap. We want to move on into something that's like at the other opposite of the spectrum. You know, if meme is the IQ 50 side of our industry, I think stablecoin is the IQ 150 side of our space. There's one news that we cannot not talk about this week. Bridge, a stablecoin startup, was just acquired by Stripe for I think slightly more than $1 billion, marking Stripe's biggest acquisition ever. and Stripe is one of the largest private companies. And also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the largest or the largest crypto acquisition so far, right? And it's interesting because I think, and also going to show this tweet from the founder of Tensor, the NFT marketplace. So he's basically saying that it seems that there are two ways to win in crypto, right? It's either IQ50 or IQ150. So you either build something that's like pump fun, like super degen, allows for speculation, attracting risk on capital, and is fully optimized just for trading, right? And then on the other side, you build something that's like super TradFi, and where compliance itself is the product, right? And why am I talking about this? Because I've been getting questions and some sort of like comments from friends that are curious, like, why is Bridge valued so much, right? Because it seems that there are a lot of stablecoin API providers. No one really knows why they are different, like why Bridge and why not some on-ramp, off-ramp like MoonPay, like why not these other companies, why not that other companies. And one of the best analysis that I've actually found was from Ben Thompson from like Stratechery. So basically, apparently Bridge has been able to acquire the nearly impossible to obtain licenses in two major jurisdictions, in the US and in Europe, right? Let me quickly also show this, where they're allowed to move large sums of money and exchange currencies on behalf of users, essentially acting like a ramp, right? Like one from the Eurozone located in Poland, one from the US, blah, blah. And this regulatory work itself, for those of you who might not be too familiar with the B2B side of like business model, this regulatory work itself might be worth more than $1 billion for Stripe, especially if it comes with like 2 years of work, right? And a strong team regardless, because this seems like semi-acqui-hire also, right? Like the founders of Bridge are not just gonna like go away and like live on an island. They're probably gonna help Stripe to like build this platform, right? So just to like share some of my own thinking here, my experience being on the indexing side a couple of years ago from my past life, that's really is the case, because like if you can get these licenses that typically, again, if you can do it in a year, that's already freaking amazing. So it's probably going to take you like multiple years. And I think for a lot of like these traditional Silicon Valley startups, the bureaucratic work and not having to go through all of that is worth these large sums of money. And the last point that I want to say here, I think it's also very smart for Bridge and for like these other stablecoin founders, because they realize that stablecoin is probably the only space in which you have a lot of potential acquirers that have a lot of money, right? And I think that even if you somehow have like a remote level of success, you're not like the superstar, your chances of like not having everything to go to zero, but you can have a modest exit is a lot higher. So I'm going to pause there first. Want to get your take on it, man.
Regulation playing, good for them. Hard to get. I think they got the license. It's a good win basically for everyone. It's a win-win situation. To be honest, good for them. But this is something that I personally feel sad on for crypto, in a sense, just because like sometimes I feel like crypto is about issuing assets and about making anyone to invest or trade or speculating on assets, right? Obviously, there's going to be private identities and stuff like that, but it's like.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why the barbell swings that much is because that they can exit through private where retail cannot access them, just like Tether. But at the same time, the other stuff that can be invested by token, people tend to speculate on very hardly. That's why your projects that get you're saying that like you have to cater for either one, and whoever is in the middle, the token speculators are like, oh man, this is too so Web 2, and the Web 2 bro is like, oh man, this is too degen, and then you end up making it fit. And personally, I mean, if I could get into on that deal, obviously I want to get into that deal. But like, obviously I cannot. And in general, I do hope everything. Like some part of me still hopes that crypto started off as letting anyone invest in a lot of things easily, right? And I do hope it keep it this way. But I know as the industry mature, this will slowly go away. Like good deals will go away, basically.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I still have hopes that eventually, like, there's going to be, like, the renaissance of ICO. And I think ICO is still, like, that's the PMF. But yeah, dude, like, we can talk about that for, like, an entire podcast. But I'm generally more bullish, basically, that that will eventually make a return. It's just that, yeah, I think it's gonna take some time. It's gonna need like new U.S. administration, like all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so overall, stablecoin is very bullish. It's just something that slowly, I think, on-chain guys cannot invest into. Basically, that's just my 2 cents, essentially.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. I want to actually segue that comment about this whole like building for either side of the spectrum and not being in the middle to a soft shell of the article that I wrote last week. But I actually want to ask your opinion about this. Hey, I'm doing my job, okay? No, but I think you are in the perfect position to actually make a comment on this article. And why so, right? So I guess just to recap for our listeners, the article was a short one, 3-4 minute read on basically called Crypto Founder Culture Fit. And basically I was just rambling on the fact that like sometimes I have friends who are like, hey, like this is like 25 to 30-year-old product manager at like a Web2 unicorn companies, and like, hey, like I wanna go into crypto. How can I be crypto native? Blah blah. And I'm like, after getting those type of questions for years now, I think I have the answer for them. And my answer is basically like being crypto native is not like trying to swap on uni once, or if you've bought like some memes. It's not that. I was just basically telling him, because this one friend really likes basketball. I was like, if you're as obsessed about crypto as you're obsessed about basketball, that's basically being crypto native. And he said, okay, that I'm probably not gonna join the crypto space anymore, right? So this whole article is just me basically saying that, like, reflecting on my journey as an investor also, and as an operator, I'm seeing that times and times again the founder culture fit in crypto is a lot more important than, let's say, just the initial tech and background fit, right? Because like eventually the community and the culture itself is going to be the moat. And we have seen so many times, just like typical TradFi suits that, yeah, I want to do like RWA, but then they don't get like they don't even get how Ethena works, but they want to do like RWA. Or you would get these like product managers from Facebook, right? That, oh, I want to make like a consumer trading app. Oh, but there's going to be no token. This is all just like equity, like until maybe like 12 years from now, and I'm probably going to get beaten up by like all of the other competitors, right? So you can see that's like they just don't get it because they don't spend enough time, and they're not obsessed, and they're not getting their hands dirty on like Twitter, like replying to messages, knowing what's the latest gossip at the latest conferences. So yeah, that's a long-winded way of just saying like that's the article about. I think you're the perfect person to comment on this, bro, because you've worked with a lot of projects, either directly or indirectly, right? Also like as a KOL. And so like, I think I want to get your opinion on, I guess, like, first, like, what's the overall article? And two, I guess, like, do you have any like two to three tips for crypto founders that like have potential, but they're still a bit awkward with regards to like getting their hands dirty and like understanding the culture and like all of that?
First, I would like to say this is a wonderful article. Everyone should like, subscribe, retweet, and all that stuff. But yeah. Like, my 2 cents is, so I'm gonna rant a little bit. Like, I think a lot of founders, first off, crypto is quick money. So a lot of founders know that they're not the fit, but that was the only way out or the way to make quick money. Same with team members. A lot of marketing people come in, just be like, I do this, I done this, blah, blah, blah. And then just be like, I can do this, I'm in tech, etc. Or they just did NFTs and they never gone into the deeper stuff, but because they have experience in NFTs, so it thinks that they have experience in crypto overall. This is the first problem why there are so many teams that want to look that fit, is because even if you're as a founder is not native or are native, hiring the wrong people can be a problem as well. And first, the top funnel is a problem. Secondly, is that because crypto is so new, there's no structural way of learning this, and there's no basic knowledge to learn this. Let's say a ecosystem role, right? How many guys have actually played with DApps around all sectors, from DeFi, social fi, GameFi, like everything, right? Like, only people that have a serious social problem like me would be able to play everything and experience it. Like I'm being serious, right? Like how do you provide support and help if you've never been as a user? It's like, I can never be a fashion sales bro. I just wear white t-shirts everywhere just because I know the brands, but I don't know how they push stuff. I don't know what's good and bad. I don't know what influencer or what movie star is a good endorsement. So that's what I mean by like, they are not in the industry. There's no training to help them be in the industry. There's no online course or YouTube course that just covers everything. As an industry, crypto native is overrated, but it's like you need to hire someone, or you need to be someone that is actually curious about the industry to stay in the industry,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's less shortcut to develop your sense. I'm not saying it's hard. It's just saying that there's no one book that you can read. There's no like dummy for
Yeah,
like
yeah.
crypto for dummies, and then you just pick up everything. And the problem with that is that you have to experience certain cycles to see the difference, because the reflexivity of things is so big. Like so it's like this is one thing. Then first, then the product features is another thing. Like if you're going for like real yield, and then you probably built a bunch of like perk decks last year, then you'd be like, oh, what happened? Then you don't realize the market sentiment, the product users shifts so quickly. Yeah, but if you're
Yeah.
on chain native, that you have some money in the game, you can tell the sentiment shifting. Like at least like before, when the product went too thick, kind of thing. So I think that's two things. First, it's hard to get into. Secondly, most people don't have the best intention. I forgot what I was gonna say for the third thing now, but like, but like, but yeah. Oh, I remember now. And being too crypto native has a problem as well. So
Yes. Yep.
someone can be unprofessional, but because they have been in the industry for 3 years, they can tell you what happened, but they don't exactly know how it's happened, if that makes sense. Like, you don't want to be working with a degen, just eight bunch of NFTs, eight bunch of DeFi, eight bunch of things, which they don't understand the money flow, why it worked, and the small details it worked. Like, you need to be professional yet curious at the same time,
Exactly.
which is very hard, to be very honest. Like, cause yeah, it's very difficult to find in people in general.
Yeah, no, like that, the last point that you touched on, I didn't cover it in the article, but that's a very good point because, yeah, like if you get somebody that's degen, but like in the nicest way possible of saying this, but basically like somebody that just can't work because like either he or she is like too involved in like almost like an addict to the markets, or are like super not used to like working in an even in a small organization, like with like proper KPIs is how you should do it, like you should tell your like team members, blah blah. Like those kind of people are also not good, even if they know like all of the little details, even if they understand like these MEV like package was like it was sent yesterday, blah blah. It doesn't really matter because that they're not going to be able to like contribute to your project basically. But yeah, like that's
And
that's one that's one thing that I've been wanting to get your take on. Go ahead.
there's something that I really want to get off my chest as well, because I advise and I work with people that is crypto native, but that sometimes being crypto native makes you lose sight of the bigger picture as well. It's like they want to be like, yo,
Yeah.
your tokenomics has to be this, VE, lock, pump it, KOLs, blah.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
then
god. Wait, curve war, let's go.
exactly right. But then they don't realize like, oh, you actually have to build more than that. You can't just copy what worked for other people, and then it's like you're so focused on the small stuff that kind of made it work, but you forgot about the bigger stuff that what
Yeah.
made great protocols work. And it's frustrating to talk to people that are too on the both side. One is too high view, be like, oh, we know how to do this, and the other side is just want to degen, and this work, let's just do this. There's not that many people in between, basically, and it's kind of frustrating sometimes.
Man, we sound so old, but like basically what we're saying is just like everything in moderation, bro. But you have to be curious. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but just to recap on that topic again, like I know that you've hashed 3 points, but any one or two like tips for the founders?
Don't over obsess on KPIs. Don't over obsess on views. Don't over obsess on things. You have to accept the fact that your team is likely only 10 to 20 people, or even less. So you need to focus on one thing, one focus group, and then from the focus group you can grow out of it. And you have to accept that you have dynamic users. You have token speculators. You have product users. You have airdrop users. You have. I'm not saying they're bad, but they help you to push different metrics. And I think, and for God's sake, research every single protocol in your sector. Like it's very bad that I know better in your sector than yourself, which is freaking bad. But yeah, but that's just my 2 cents.
Maybe
I
it's
wouldn't say
time for
advice because
Lambro.
I just talk shit. But yeah,
No. Like maybe it's time for you to raise for your own protocol. You know whose first check is gonna be in. Okay, just kidding. But yeah, dude,
yeah.
that's all. That's all that we have for this week. I guess for our listeners, if you have any feedback or if you have any topics that you want us to cover, always feel free to reach out to us on either on the YouTube comment section or on Twitter to both of our accounts. We want to make this podcast, especially the one that's just the episode with the two of us, to share like interesting insights with our listeners. So feel free to share with us what kind of topics you're more intrigued in and like all of that. And we are all going to be in this journey together. Cheers, folks.